Richard, thanks for coming up to New Hampshire.
All right.
It's usually quiet up here, but I do have a shower that shrieks some of the time.
Let's hear it.
Okay. I have to get this going, and then when I pull this up.
Oh, there it is. That's an E flat, isn't it?
I think it might be. And it can change pitch.
Oh.
There it is.
All right. Well, I think I know how to fix that. Why don't you shut that off? I'll go down and shut the water off downstairs.
Okay, great.
All right, Joan, so I've got the water off, and what you've got is actually a single lever tub and shower valve. Now behind the wall, there's a hot pipe that comes up into this side, a cold one that comes right here. Now this valve's job is to mix the hot and the cold, and to let that mixed water come down either through the spout, or if you lift this diverter, to have it come out through the shower head up there.
Right.
Now, what happens is, there's relatively small passageways inside here, and anytime you're in a plumbing system, you know, you've got any sorts of calcium or magnesium or minerals built up, and you have a constriction, you can have that noise like your E flat that I said. So now we have to take apart the valve. So it starts by pulling off this index. The nice thing about this is that this job is not so difficult that a homeowner couldn't do it. I pulled off the index. Now this is a Phillips screw right here, and I'm going to loosen it. Sometimes that can get bound right onto the end of the cartridge. So now we're there. Okay? So this is our cartridge, okay? And it's held in place by this nut right there. And what I want to do is actually take a pair of pliers and carefully loosen it counterclockwise. So now, that's what held the cartridge in. And now I want to pull it straight out. Okay, so there's the cartridge that swings open and close. But we're not done. There's a few more working parts inside. You can see right in here, there's a couple of more black rings there called seats and springs. So I'm just going to pull them out. And these are really important. This is what the water holds back against. I'm going to pull out both of them. There's one. All right, so that's it for the seats and the springs. So now it's time to rebuild. Now the nice thing is about this shower valve is it's a name brand, so you can actually get the parts. Nowadays you can go online and you can call customer service, and oftentimes they'll even send you the parts for free. Many times it's lifetime warranty. You also can go to a local parts supply store, which is what I did, and I got this. It has the cartridge, the seats, and the springs all in one package. But I'm telling you, I'm pooped. You're going to have to do this work, all right?
Okay,
all right, so let's switch spaces.
Okay.
Step right in. First time you've been invited into your own bathtub.
The guy's watching.
So, all right.
Definitely a first.
So now, you're going to take that screwdriver and now use it to go right inside the seat and the spring. And now you're going to push that right into one of those openings. And with your other finger, push it right in while you pull the screwdriver back. And push it in. Okay, so there's one. Let's do it again. Okay, same idea. Push it right in. With your other finger, hold it right.
No, it's crooked. There, I got it.
Okay, so now the seats are in, the springs are in. Now we're going to put the cartridge in there. See this little groove right here? Take a look at this. Find a matching groove. See it on the side?
Right there.
So a little keyway right there. So that tells you exactly where you want to fit it in. So line that up and push it straight in, down. Okay, good. Now grab that nut that we had before.
Right.
And now it's that clockwise. There we go.
Okay.
All right. And we might just give it the tiniest of snugs. Just open those pliers up. No, this way. Watch. Okay. And now we want to turn this way. And don't scratch it too much. I know the owner. Just a little snug. It's barely a touch.
Did anything. I think we need a plumber for this.
There we go. Just it doesn't want to be over tightened for sure.
Okay.
So I'm just going to close this off, and this is the closed position right here. And you see right here that the stem is actually flattened on both sides. Just grab that handle, and there's a matching opening inside there. Just try put it on.
There we go.
Okay. So now I want to turn the water on. We'll give it a test.
Okay.
All right, Joan. Let's try the test. A little bit of air going to come up. Okay, so now let's give it a try. I'll move it back and forth a few different ways. Does that sound any quieter?
Sounds wonderful, Richard. Thank you so much.
Well, actually, you did all the work. All right, so there's a couple more important things I have to do. You're gonna hold that for a second. I wanna set this safety limit right here. There's an Allen screw right here, and I'm gonna tighten that, and that'll limit how far we can open up the hot so that you don't get too hot of water coming out of the shower head.
Okay.
So I'll set that, and then you can actually install that handle, because you're a pro now.
Oh, I sure am.
All right, let me set this.
Another happy homeowner, another good fix.
Yeah. Oh, so I thought, you know, we drove away, we tested it, it was all quiet as a mouse. We tested it, she's happy, we're happy, we drive away. The next morning she calls, she says, I don't mean to bother you, but the noise is back.
You got a call back?
Right? I did. So I jumped in the car, drove back up there, and it reminded me about the nature of plumbing issues. You know, anytime I think about where does the sound come from, I look for a place in the plumbing system where there is a closing of an aperture, where water's trying to fit through a tighter space than it's designed for.
Right.
So here's that shower valve right here. We got hot and cold right here. The first and most logical culprit is the mixing valve cartridge, because there's little tiny passageways in here, and this is where we always assume that it is, so we always look there first. The next thing I looked at in that plumbing system is a shower head. A shower head has places where it can get constricted. You know, the minerals that are in the water. You've seen it on the end of shower heads, right?
Up.
It starts to clog this, and now you start having water trying to fit through smaller openings than it should. Look at this. This is a flow restrictor. That's a small opening too, and that can sometimes give you a little bit of a noise.
It starts small, and it's going to get a lot smaller.
That's
if you
right.
get some buildup.
But it wasn't this.
Really?
It wasn't this.
Oh my!
right.
You are all over the place.
It was in the most simplest of devices. This is a diverter tub spout. Now you lift this up, and it sends water backwards out through the shower head.
And what is actually blocking the water inside of this?
Well, I brought a cutaway along, so here it is. Okay. So now the water leaves the shower valve, comes down through here, takes the path of least resistance, goes right out through and fills the tub. When you want to take a shower, you lift this diverter right here. Now the weight of the water will push against that gate, and now the water backs up, and comes all the way out through the shower head.
So what causes this to actually make that sound?
It just got worn. So now what happens is it just vibrates a little bit like this, just enough. So it's much like a reed on a woodwind instrument, just making that vibration noise.
All right, so a couple questions for you. You ended up changing this valve,
Yep.
and was that a waste of time?
No, I mean, that was a 35-year-old valve, so I've fundamentally made that a brand new valve for the next 35 years.
Okay. And so when it comes to the tub spout, what do you end up replacing? I mean, is there a gasket or a valve?
Well, you can't really repair it, Kevin. There's a gate right here that once it's worn, you really have to replace the entire diverter spout. And the challenge is to figure out how it's connected to the wall. So if you feel around at the bottom, you see an Allen screw like this, you loosen it, and then it should pull straight off of the pipe. If you don't see the Allen screw, then it's generally going to have a threaded piece of pipe inside the wall that you then loosen and then tighten back on again after the new one.
Okay, so you replace the whole spout,
Yep.
gate and all, and then and what? The noise goes away? No
It
more
did.
singing in the shower?
I should never sing in the shower.
Nice, all right. Well, a good fix after all.
In the end, it was.